Hey folks, Steve here with another Plan 1919 video. We will be looking at turn 3, maybe turns 4 and 5, depending on how swiftly we move. We'll see. I want to try to get this done in a few more videos and then start looking at review stuff for this game. But as you can see, we're trying to break through as the Allies. The French have gotten across the trench line, but they're kind of out of steam, mostly because they don't really have any replacements left. So it's like, the French kind of are out of gas. The British and the Americans are really going to be the ones driving the Allied advance, while the French are maybe there to make some sacrificial attacks just to continue to burn up the Germans. But even if they burn these guys up over here, there's not many morale hexes to get. Maybe Sedan nearby. Luxembourg is going to fall if Metz falls, but that's really the Americans doing that work as it is. I've done the turn 3 preliminary stuff, so replacements and movement, and so we're sort of starting to see kind of where things are laying out right now. I've got a unit that had reinforced into Brussels as sort of a stopgap. I did move some units around over here so that I could tuck a unit into Metz itself, so that the Americans couldn't simply take it on their next turn. Arguably, I should think about putting even more units in there, but if I do peel more off here, then I'm going to make the line weaker, and I'm not sure I'm ready to do that yet. We can hold the line a little bit longer. You can see the Germans also just trying to maintain something of a line in Zox so that the weakened French can't run amok in the backfield. I was thinking through if the Germans are going to do any attacks. We're really at the stage where attacks don't help the Germans a whole lot, other than if they're valuable attacks that can hurt the Allies. And we have the potential with the German tanks there to do something. Now I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should have sent him up here, and that this might be better because we will have a 18 to 5, so 3 to 1, -1. That might be better up here to kind of counterattack and hurt the Allied armor. So we're going to maybe do that instead of down here. But yeah, so this would be the German attack phase. Again, I don't have a whole lot to do here that I can do. We could try it. So I should also say I started the turn with the Allies opting to do an operational or a tactical bombing, and the German Air Force went to stop that. So again, the Allies have a net +3. They can throw around any combats. That might matter here, where we would have 18 to 5. The trench bonus is negated by the German armor, but there's still rough terrain here, which is a -1. So it's 3 to 1, -1. Let's see what we get. Oof, and the Germans rolled a 1, so that's as bad as it gets. So we're going to lose their tank and take 2 more step losses. So this might have been the very worst thing they could have happen. And the British will take a step loss off their infantry. They don't have to take a loss off their heavy tank because they were defending, and you don't have to take the first loss as a tank. So that was kind of dumb as the Germans. That kind of reinforces my thought of like, why bother attacking? The only other one worth doing is a 3 to 1 here. But the Allies could chuck in air support and just make that the same. So I don't think there's any other German attacks up there we want to do. Around here, I'm just not seeing where it makes sense to try. We could do a concentric attack here. We'd have 5, 10, 16 to 16 to 6. It'd be 2 to 1 odds. 2 to 1 odds -1. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, we'll get chewed up is what will happen, and the Americans will be able to take the step losses and replenish them. So that seems all of this as the Central Powers, and I'm sure if I've called them Axis, I'm sorry. I keep doing it because I just played another World War II game elsewhere, and it's like okay, this is Gray is not Axis. Gray is Central Powers right now. It's Germany, World War I Germany. But yeah, so I don't think there's anything that one attack I did up here was foolish. I shouldn't have done that. I thought maybe we'd get lucky and force them back, and then we'd take the hex. But that didn't do us any good. The German tanks are nice, but they're not doing what they really need to do, I guess, and helping us a whole lot. So yeah, anything the Germans do on the attack now is a waste. There's really no point in attacking. I mean, unless there's something really hanging out there, and right now there's not. So general offensives, bad idea. Counterattacks are our only thing. So if the British punch another hole or something, and we can wrap around and attack the spear point that's been weakened, we'll maybe continue to do that. But no more, no more attacks of our own initiative on parts of the line because that just doesn't work. Isn't working for us as well as we would have wanted to. So yeah, I think from there. There's no infiltration move that the Germans can really do that would help. So I think we just kick it over to the Allies. So I'm going to do the Allied stuff off camera, and we'll see kind of where things stand. Okay, so the Allies are spending a lot of their reinforcements to get things back on the board. The Allied mechanized reinforcements are going almost entirely to keep the British armor forces topped off, but we managed to get them rebuilt, move them into place. And I think what we're going to be trying to do this turn is smash here and here to make use of that failed attack. I shouldn't have done, but it's too late. I'll chalk it up to a foolhardy mistake. I came back to this after several days of not playing at all, so I guess maybe a little too willing to attack. I would like to maybe attack here so that we can cut off that stack, and then by the virtue of clearing through here and here, that we can isolate Lille. We can force an opening over here so that we threaten Ghent, and we also potentially encircle Ostend. So I think that will be the very critical, excuse me, the critical move here to kind of break through the line there and sort of reduce what the Germans have on the board. I'm also thinking about an attack down here to eliminate the Austrians, and then also thinking about making an attack here, because if we take out that unit, we're going to put the center part of the German line in a really precarious position in terms of maintaining supply and coherency. The more we smash through these lines, the more threatened their supply is going to be. Excuse me. And what may be the last French armor offensive, we're going to try to bust through here, or at least get them off the trench line so that we're now having pushed them back off the trenches, maybe start moving towards Sedan, putting pressure over here. And then as the Americans, we're going to try to attack in a couple of different places to kind of clear the way so we can start getting closer to Metz. That's really going to be the main thing we want to be trying to do. It's going to be important that we get multiple hexes on Metz, clear it, and then be trying to move beyond to Luxembourg as we can, and maybe send some guys over east to threaten Strasbourg, though I think the Germans are going to be able to competently defend it. We kind of need to get at least those areas, so it's going to be some major offensives all along the line. We can just start right off with the American attacks. So we're going to try, what's tough is I've really got a couple options, and I've got to split my difference a little bit. So if we did this unit 3, 7 from these two units, 15 including these guys, and then 21, 25 all together here attacking here. So it would be 4 to 1 odds. 4 to 1 odds. Oh. Okay, so there's not a river line here. So it'd be 4-1 odds -3, which is pretty rough. But if we spend, I'll spend American Air to make it 4-1 odds -2. And it doesn't matter, I rolled a 1. So takes a step loss. And oh, the Marines gave me a +1, but that actually still doesn't help. So that's 1 step loss there. Now, do we retreat instead? I think maybe we do retreat instead. And then these guys have to take 4 step losses, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Was I overstacked? I might have been overstacked in one of these hexes. Oh no, he was here. Okay. And then we can advance after combat. Four. There we go. Not as good as I was hoping. But then we have the attack here, which would be against 9, or I'm sorry, 10. This is going to be rough. So we'd have 3 here. We'd have the other 4, so 7, 10, 12, 16, 19, 21, 25 to 10. It'd be 2-1 odds, but only -1 because of the fort. 2-1, -1 because of the forest. 2-1. Oh, and it's a concentric attack. I guess the other one was a concentric attack too. We actually get a step loss back, so I'll mark that like so. So, so this is really 2-1 straight up. Yeah, 2-1 straight up, because the concentric attack cancels out the fort. And we rolled a 1. Ah, God. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And that did not go the way we needed it to. That sucks. Alright, going to the French attack. We get a -1 because of the forest, but they have 7. We have 4, 10, 14, 22. 22 cents. So 3-1. 3-1 -1. And I think we'll use the French Air Force to make it a 3-1 straight up. And I rolled a 2. Man, I just can't. We'll take a step loss. Yeesh. I just can't roll for crap today. There goes 1, 2, 3. Not what we were hoping. Over here would be 8, 12, 15. I'm sorry. Yeah, 8, 12, 15, 17. 17 to 4, 4-1 -2. 4-1 -2. Not great. I'll take a step loss. We take 3, so 1, 2, 3. Not what we wanted there either, but we can keep it rolling, maybe in the second combat round. Here, we would have 7, 10, 13, 4-1 minus 2. So it's a 1 step, and we take 4 step losses. That's pretty rough. But we'll try to advance after combat and just, at least we're pushing them back. And then up here in the really critical activities here, we'll do here first. And we have 6, 13, 16, 20, 26 to 6. That's 4-1 odds. 4-1 odds straight up. Let's see. Yeah, 4-1 odds straight up. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay, so he's eliminated. And take... Well, we are going to lose our tank unit. But we will be able to advance after combat and encircle this here. Then the attacks up here. So against 5 we would have 10, 12, so 2-1. 2-1 straight up. Because we nullify the... Oh, you know what? I think we want to use the Air Force 2-1 plus 1. Yeah, it's a good thing we did. Okay, so 2 step losses. This unit's eliminated. We take 2 step losses, so 1. I guess we'll lose the fast tank. And... man, we can't really advance after combat because we'll be out of supply. Well, I guess we're going to be reliant on taking this hex, so we will advance after combat. Yeah, and then we'll attack here, so it'll be 13, oops, 2-1, 2-1, just straight up there. Okay, it's gonna have to retreat. We take 2 step losses. Yeah, there goes the fast tank again. Not sure how I avoid that. Ooh, and we can't really... Yeah, I don't know. I think I... How can I do this? Well, I guess these guys technically are infiltration capable, or at least one unit is. These guys are infiltration capable. Yeah, dang, I don't know what I can really do here. I think we can... Yeah, I think we'll advance after combat, and then when we do infiltration movement, we can move these guys down, which will put them out of supply. This guy would be out of supply on the next turn, but I think we can do an infiltration move like this and ensure these guys down here are screwed. And in terms of second attacks up here, I don't think we want to do any... I think we want to let these guys wither on the vine. There's really nothing that can be done to save these German units here. So So up there, yeah, I don't think we're going to do any second attacks. I just don't think it makes sense to try yet. But we're about to create an untenable position for the Germans. If I look further down, we could try here again. This would be 7, 10, 17 to 3, 5 to 1 odds minus 2. Well, he's eliminated, but it's awfully costly. Awfully costly. 4 step losses. So 1, 2, 3. Oops. Then advance after combat. And these French units are destroyed. Boy, French are they achieving much right now? I can't say for certain. I can't say for certain. Over here for secondary attacks. Well, we certainly have the chance to make something happen over here. Do 6, 9, 10, 14, 17, 18, 22, 25, 29, 29 to 10. That's still only 2 to 1 odds, but it's straight up 2 to 1 odds. And I still can't roll for crap. I think we're going to have them, well, they're going to retreat. And they're going to take 3 step losses. 1, or rather, 1, 2, 3. And we could advance after combat. Eesh. Advance after combat. Advance after combat. Advance after combat. It is kind of getting to the point where it's like, well, we can't do a whole lot. These guys are going to be a problem eventually. So we're moving our way up, but we have limited capability to do much else right now. We could try to attack here. I don't think it's going to get us very many places. I think I forgot to spend my replacements. Okay. Maybe that's all they do. Yeah. So yeah, not a great turn. I don't think we did a whole lot that we really would have liked to have done, but we are trying, and I guess that's the important thing. We're just causing the disruption of the lines, and the more we destroy on the part of the Germans, the better off we are. They're only going to get 2 more replacement points per turn. I think we're eliminating much more than that, so that's net good for the Allies. We're going to go into turn 4, and we'll see what happens. We'll do all the German stuff first, of course. Okay, here's the turn 4 German move. We got more units into Metz, still trying to hold the line here. Didn't change much along here. We did pull back and over so that we can restore supply to those guys at the end of our turn. And then up here, you can see, rather than replenish some units, I brought on some onto the board and moved them over so that we've got something sitting in some of these cities so that we can still maintain some sort of line, and we move some units around to try to counterattack right there. And the way it's looking right now is that we're going to have a 2 to 1 attack straight up on this British spearhead. So we'll see what happens. There is a retreat path available to them, though it's like that way. And I'm not I think we're allowed to do that, but I'm not super duper sure. how we want to look at that. There doesn't seem to be an issue with that. So I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be 2-to-1 odds. We want to roll high. But that's as much as the Germans could do. They can't pull off any more units. They can't get them near enough to support the attack. And what do we get? That is a 1-1 result. So we'll do that, and then these guys will take a step loss off the infantry. That didn't work. And then, let's see, infiltration movement. Is there anything they can do right now? Not really. So maybe we try that again, and we have 9 to 4, 12. We can make it 12 with these guys. 12 to 4, so 3-to-1 odds straight up. I got a 4, which they take a step loss, I guess, off the tank. And then they retreat this way, but we have to take 3 step losses here, so it'd be 1, 2, I guess 3. We'll take it off the anti-tank, and we'll advance after combat, which will restore supply here at least. So in terms of fixing stuff up, I mean, the Germans are paying for it. But yeah, so they're holding on, but just barely, and they are going to lose these guys, because there's nothing more that they could do. So these guys are in the dead pile. Anti-tanks can be rebuilt, but not a huge deal. And we're going to see Lens taken. I'm just going to go ahead and move the morale now, because the Allies are going to have that. So the Germans are down to 15 morale. And we will kick it back to the Allies. And I'll just say very quickly, this guy right now is out of supply. So Germans will probably want to do something about that. And I'm sure that they will, because they still have this open path that they can take advantage of. So I'm going to go take care of the Allied replacements, and then we'll be back. Okay, here's the Allied action here. You can see we're sort of swooping in our way here, where we would expect to very probably eliminate these units here. That's the ideal. We've got an attack on Mons even that will basically have finished breaking the line down here. Still holding down here. We do have a French attack that we're going to continue to try to keep these guys locked up, and then otherwise the Americans down here are going to keep pushing. We are going to have an attack here, so it's going to be 10 with a -1 of the die roll, 10 defenders, -1 of the die roll. The tanks are being used, so we're going to have 9 here, 9 there, so 18, 24, 27, 33, so 3-to-1 odds, and we'll throw in the American air power to make it 3-to-1 odds straight up. Now we're talking 6, so it could take, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and hold the hex, and unfortunately we'll lose the tank, and then 1 here, I guess, but we'll probably attack again. Is it worth attacking down here? Well, we'd have 6, 12, 16, 22. This would be 3-to-1 -2, or 3-to-1 -1 actually. Yeah, 3-to-1 -1, because the Marines give you a bonus, but -2. So 3 to 1 minus 1. Try it. Not great. So step loss. We got to take 3. So 1, 2, 3. But we're whittling away the Germans, and I guess that's the important thing. Okay. No French attacks there. The French attack here, which will be 7, 10, 17, 21. So 3 to 1 odds, minus 1. So, I think we'll do a retreat. Take 3 step losses, so 1, 2, 3, and advance after combat. And these guys are going to be pretty well and screwed up now. I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to get through. So that's going to be the end of that, basically. At least I think so. And then up here in the north, we'll go ahead and try this right here. So this is going to be 5. Whoops. 5 defending. We have 8. 14, so 2 to 1 odds. We'll burn up both air. 2 to 1 odds, so it's 2 to 1 odds plus 1 ultimately. Alright, and that is just enough to eliminate this unit. We're going to take 2 step losses, so 1, 2, and we take Mons. So German morale goes down another 1. We're going to be operating in the backfield now. Let's see, want to do an attack here. So this is 3, 6, 9, 12, 2 to 1, minus 3. Ugh, that's kind of nasty. Maybe we're better off trying to attack here, but that's still minus 2, 10, 6. Yeah, all that's real difficult. I think maybe we don't attack here. Not yet. And what we do is we attack here. So that'll be 11, 2 to 1. Okay, he's eliminated. I lose the tank, but would advance after combat. Technically, he would have infiltration capability, and then these guys would be attacking here, and it would be 10, 12, 3 to 1, straight up. And he can retreat, which he will. Take 3 step losses, so 1, 2, 3. These tanks just aren't getting me. It's too bloody for what they're doing. So let's see. I think what we would do is, in our infiltration move, infiltrate up here, infiltrate down here. This will restore supply, thusly, and then I think we're good there. We could do second attack. I'm not sure we necessarily need to. But these guys up here are in pretty deep trouble. Yeah, I think that's all we really needed to do. Germans could potentially put these guys out of supply, and they'll probably try to do that, but they just don't have a whole lot of options either, really, anymore. So, yeah, that's turn 4. If I go to turn 5, and just FYI, the whole RAF bombers, I'm just using to nullify the German bonus. I mean, at this point, it's just, it doesn't affect the game as much as you might think, just because the Germans are going to block it every time. If they chose not to block it, then all they're doing is negating a +1 elsewhere on the board, really. But the Germans have these guys out of supply again, and are going to have to figure out what they can do. So I'll take care of the German turn 5 stuff, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I think the Germans are realizing that their situation is almost untenable in their present situation. I'm trying to like move stuff around and like how can I save these guys, and the reality is I just can't. I mean, I can try to, you know, create a new line, but the reality is like I can't hold everything. Everything's so awfully tight of where I can try to move guys. And the reality is I can't really save these guys, because if I move this unit up to save those guys, I mean, the breakthrough is significant enough. I have to give them up. So the Germans are going to end here turn 5 with just nothing left to do other than to watch whole sets of guys melt away. So we've got units lost down here, several corps in the south, so the French get a little bit of a reprieve now. Over here, these guys are out. I can't save them. I don't have enough movement. I don't have enough places to go. The strat movement limitations means that more corps are lost. Lille is taken. So now the Germans are down to 12 morale, if I'm counting right. And that's it. And in terms of the Allied replacements, I mean, it's not very many, mind you, but it's probably going to be enough. So if I look at, let's see, probably want to restore these guys. That'd be all their replacement points left. They really only had one, I guess, so it would be one of these guys is still out. But then we have the Allied tank restoration, which, you know, we could just build back, you know, these tank markers, you know, these tanks, as it were, and that would probably be enough to make something happen. I'll say the Allies are pretty worn out. Oh, I guess the Germans could have done like, well, no, because that would, yeah, all this is really tough. So I think, let's say 1, 2, 3, holds the door open. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, this is, oh yeah, and I guess I took Austin, so that's another 2, down to 10. And I mean, almost at this point, you know, we start seeing just how bad is it going to be for the Germans all across the line, because at this point, I it's really rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe would have had 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I guess it still makes more sense to head that way. Yeah, so let's have some combats here, right? I think we're going to do cities -2. We're going to spend 2 of our air to make it a 2-to-1 straight up. And, yep, that's going to be enough. A little bloodier than I would have liked, so this unit's gone. Take 2 step losses. 1, 2. Charleroi is taken. Germans down to 8 morale. I think we want to attack here. This is 5. Yeah, 2-to-1 here. That's only a 3, so he could retreat. And take 2 step losses. 1, 2. Let's see, what else? What else can we do here? We're putting the hurting on. I guess down here we would try an attack. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. So here, having a 8, 11, 17, 26, 26 to 5, so 5-to-1 -3. There's 4-2. He's eliminated. Do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're moving right along here. Let's see, we could also try to attack down here. It's going to be tougher. 4, 5, 9, 14, 19 to 5, not quite what we wanted. 3-to-1, -3, or -2 rather, 3-1 -2. Jeez, I can't roll for crap. He's going to try to retreat. And we'll see. All right. Still struggling to get where we want to be. And that's it for the first combat round. Now, infiltration movement, we don't really have any. Forgot to spend my American replacements, so that's okay. I don't think we need to right now. Some attacks down here we could make. 6, 9, 12, 16. 4-to-1 -2. Spend our last. Make that 4-to-1 -1 here. 1 step loss. Let me take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we advance after combat there. Probably should have done movement with these guys down here, so we'll do that now. Sort of screwed that up, but that's okay. Just set it up like so. think I'm moving fast because I see the end is near and I just want to kind of get through the game. Sorry, that was off camera. So sorry, guys. Trying to attack up here. We're not getting really anywhere, but we're forcing the Germans back. And I think that's it. We can go into turn 6. And the Germans have problems because these guys are out of supply and everybody's hurting. With 2 replacement points, what can we do? We can restore somebody here. We can restore somebody here. But I think what I'd rather do is not restore the guy here and build a fresh unit and rail him into Brussels, just so there's somebody in there. Any attacks worth it? Well, we could try to attack 9 of 6. It's 1-1 odds. But we'd be out-aired, obviously. Yeah, I don't think the Germans can really do anything. I mean, they just don't have enough. Everything's got to be to hold on. Maybe if they pull off the line, it's just going to make it easier for the British. It's almost like I'm almost prepared to give up as the Germans, but they might be able to hold on a little bit longer. They just need to figure out a better way to go. And I think what we'll do is we'll rail a unit out of Antwerp, or not Antwerp, Metz, and we'll put it into Antwerp. Just so that there's something out there to hold Antwerp. Maybe I should put it into Liege instead, but I don't know. So yeah, that says the Germans go to the Americans, and we will see, let's see, 1 British reinforcement go here. The Americans have plenty they can use. It's starting to get messy. Ay. Americans are stacked high, that's the problem. Okay, let's see, what other movements can the French and Allies make? Up here, well, what we could see, because Brussels is a city, Antwerp is a city, Ghent is a city, Maubeuge is a city, the tanks have to kind of go somewhere where they can be of use, which really is only going to be down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, it's almost like they can't help anymore. Oh, and these German units are gone up near Ostend. Nothing could be done to save them. So really now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. These guys can't stack together, so I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sorry, I'm getting sloppy, guys. I'm towards the end of the game, and it's just like, you know, what else is there to do, really? Okay, I think we're getting set up for attacks that way. And yeah, I think that's the way that this will end up going. You know, here it would be 3, 6, 10. So not quite, it'd be 1-to-1 odds. -1. That's not very good. But it is going to be marked out of supply. See, this guy would be 1-to-2 with a +1. That wouldn't do us much good either, but he'd be knocked out of supply. Could try to attack into Malbauge, but that's 11. And we would have only 9. So that would be bad. Okay, so we're getting to the point where some of these attacks I can't even really launch. So maybe that's as good as it's going to get. But down here, we could try to attack on Mets. It'd be a -3. We'd be attacking with 9, 15, 19. So it'd be 3-to-1 -3. 3-to-1 -3. Okay, so that's a 2. And we just took 6 losses, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And if we did that attack again, it would only be 6, 12-5. We'd spend out all of our air. 12-5. So 2-to-1 odds straight up. And we rolled well. So he's eliminated. The Allies will take Mets for 3 morale points. Germany down to 5. And we do have to take 5-step losses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of dead Americans there taking Mets, but that's a key victory spot. So the Germans only have 5 morale left, and that pushes us into turn 7. I think I'll stop here and do this video up because it's probably very long. But we'll look at the start of turn 7. The Germans are almost certainly doomed at this point, but they could hold on in a couple of key places just due to the supply, the exhausted British, and whether or not we can take some of these remaining bits of territory. I think that's really going to be the key factor here in the moments to come. So, and the British tanks are totally not in a good position now. It's hard to get them into a useful place. So, we'll have to see how that goes. But okay, see you in the next one, guys. Sorry, this one's so long. We got through a lot, right? Turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll get into 7, 8, 9 in the next video.